Morning, my people. Let's jump right into it. So today could be a very, very historic day. Originally, my goal was to stay away from the political aspect of it, but at the end of the day, November 5th, 2024, is a historic moment. We could potentially get the first female president in U.S. history. So I think that that is a historic feat, no matter what side of the field you land on. Whether if you're, Republican or Democrat, I think that is historic. You may not agree with those policies of the specific candidate, but at the same time, too, you have to agree that is a historic moment for women, for people of color. I think it is. I think it's monumental if it does happen. And that's the side that I'm looking at it as, from that perspective. There's going to be plenty of you on here who could disagree and talk about politics. I'm not here for that. I am not here about the side of the policies, which is very important when it comes to why you decide to vote for that very specific candidate. But in this case here, I'm not focusing on that. I'm just focused on history. Again, I am a teacher, I am an educator, so I am focused on the historical aspect of this upcoming election. And that's all it is. So however you decide, to lean, that's your personal choice. But what I want everyone to realize is that you can't deny the history, which a lot of times, that's the case. The historical aspect of it being altered or changed to fit someone's narrative, to make them more comfortable, or to fit a certain type of agenda, which shouldn't be the case. I think that history is history. You can't, rewrite it. And I think that that's what we need to understand. No matter what side of the field you land on, you can't rewrite history to fit your own personal narratives. And that's just the reality of the situation. That's the reality of, being logical. You can't do it. So when we're looking at it from certain viewpoints, from certain aspects, I think this is monumental. I look at guys like Anton Daniels. And Anton is a guy who I love his point of views. Successful, businessman, did the right thing, a father figure. He's someone that we could look up to in the community. But then some of the things that I say, I think he has a lot of hateful speech, has a lot of hateful rhetoric in his tone. I think he's actually blind to the fact of, trying to fit into a certain culture, trying to fit into a certain group where you don't need to belong. I think a guy like you are too smart. Like Anton Daniels, a guy, he's so smart that I think that he could do something bigger than just following a trend. I think he kind of follows a trend. I don't know why. I think that sometimes a lot of things that he does say is to be a man of faith, to be a man of the Bible. I think that he's kind of hypocritical in a lot of points. But that's neither here nor there. So these figures out there that are, preaching about, the word and God are some of the most hypocritical individuals when it comes to certain things. So getting back to the overall arcing aspect of it here, it's not about, for me, this personal, milestone, if it comes to it. It's not about, which side I'm leaning on. I'm just talking about just the history of it, the historical fact, implications of what could happen. And that's it. Again, this is not, endorsing one candidate over the other. This is basically saying that, hey, we are looking at, or we're witnessing history as an American people, as a culture, as a, again, a historic moment in history, potentially. It might not ever be this again. So I'm just going to enjoy the moment, enjoy the process. And I guess, my ultimate thing is this. No matter what happens, ultimately, I believe that the people will speak. I don't believe in conspiracy theories. I'm not a big guy who thinks that, our process is tainted. But what I am a believer in is our democracy. I am a believer in the fact that if the people choose, the people choose. And that's it, whether you win or you lose. And I think that we need to toughen up as a society when it comes to that. We're not talking about stealing. We're talking about the people who've spoken. Again, no matter what side you lean on, especially if you lean on the side that feels as though that our election is stolen. Let's think about it. We have people that have been, trained. We have people who are respecting our country as a whole. So let's think about that. Let's consider these things as well. Because if you win, it's not. But if you lose, it is. I think that we have to be smarter than that. We have to be better than that as a country. When it comes to respecting our democracy. Again, your choice, your decision to lean towards your right or left, that's your personal decision. Because I don't know your personal goals. I don't know your morals. I don't know your values. So I can't speak on that. But what I can speak on is respecting our process. And what I will, again, no matter what happens with my candidate, win or lose, I think I respect that the people have spoken. And that's it. So again, today, going back on it, it is a historic moment for America as a whole, if it does happen. If not, it's still one for the ages. And I think that we have to look at these milestones, that we are part of history. Believe it or not, whether you agree with certain candidates' policies or not, we are part of one of the most historical moments in U.S. history. So, stay tuned. Just my thoughts.